days I did collect some things, and anybody walking into one of my rooms would have known that I really like the 49ers, specifically Steve Young, and they would have known that I liked whales and dolphins. And one of my speech therapists actually had me say the names of the whales and dolphins on a poster that I had in my room. So she would make me say, you know, blue whale, that's easy. Humpback whale, a little harder. And then she'd make me say the scientific names. Balaenoptera musculus, you guys don't know if I'm wrong anyway. Balaenoptera musculus, Megoptera novaanglii. And those were a little tougher, but you know, she used, and she had no idea if I was saying them right, but she used what motivated me and what got me happy to do my therapy. And that's really, really important. There's always something. When should empathy start? Well, for you guys, it's going to start as soon as you meet the patient. You need to have your empathy hat on right away, and then empathy needs to start. Or should it start with a nurse? Do you think empathy should start before the nurse ever meets the patient? Empathy should really start with the insurance company, but let's be real. So it has to start on the phone. Any contact with a patient, that's when empathy needs to start. And I've been on the phone so many times to a medical office when they have not been nice. They've just been rude. I mean, it's basic customer service. They have just not been nice to the point that I want to switch doctors. So that is really where empathy needs to start, is the first contact with your patient. Before I go on and tell you a little bit more about what I can do for you guys to further inspire you to have the attitude of empathy all the time, I want to take questions. So please use this opportunity to ask me anything. My life is literally an open book. So go ahead, ask me anything. I'll take a sip of water while you guys think of what you want to ask me. Okay, last chance. Will you raise your hand? they're all like students. I'm not going to move. Well, during this, as Dr. Sharon said, I did write a book about my whole experience. And the title came through from a lot of the things that people were saying to me. Like, when life throws you lemons, make lemonade. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. You know, have a better attitude. It could be worse. All of those things are really good things to think and to live by. But when people said those things to me, I just wanted to punch them in the face, because it's really not helpful. And I think I did have a decent attitude for what I was going through, but there was no acknowledgement of the fact that I really was going through a really, really, really tough time. And maybe it's okay to be sad. Maybe it's okay to not be happy and smiling all the time. So instead of When Life Throws You Lemons, Make Lemonade, the title of my book is When Life Throws You Lemons, Make Cranberry Juice. And where that comes from is I see cranberries as those good things in life that you tend to overlook. Like you see a quarter on the floor. Well, how many of you would stop to pick up a quarter on the floor? Come on. You guys would all stop. Okay, maybe if it's a silver dollar on the floor. You'd all stop. That'd be a good thing. You'd be like, oh, look, I found that. Or you turn on the radio in your car and your favorite song comes on. That's a good thing. So my whole thinking behind this title and behind my book is that, and behind, you know, what I try to live by, is that it's okay to accept cranberries and to accept those positive things and let them into your heart, even while you're going through a really tough time. So what the title of this book and what this philosophy is supposed to tell you is that it's okay to acknowledge that you're going through a tough time. It's okay to think, oh, my house burned down. And yes, I'm still alive, and okay, that's a good thing, but my house burned down. You know, it's okay to be sad that your house burned down. But you can also accept those little cranberries. It's okay to be happy about something in the moment, even though your bigger picture looks kind of bleak. So one way I hope that I can inspire you is I do have some copies of this here today, and I'm happy to autograph it for you. I also wrote a workbook that is best to accompany these presentations called Moment of Care, A Lifetime of Impact. And this workbook takes people through a bunch of different stories. Some of them are mine, some of them are stories from other patients. But it takes you through a lot of different stories and some activities that you could do that will help you promote empathy, that will help you kind of see how a patient feels when they're in the hospital and they're helpless. So I do have copies of this workbook if you want to take a look at it. It's over on the table. But the best thing that you could do, and I don't think that I have that on there, is if anybody would like me to come talk to their staff or a larger group or another group, I'd love to come talk. And this workbook is actually best accompanied by my talks. I would make people sit in this room and do some of the things in this book. And I'm not going to tell you what those are because that'll be a spoiler, but I would make you do some of those things. I also have a bunch of, I can't point to things, I can point on here. On the table over there I have a bunch of magnets that have a lot of the mantras that I live by. And these are mantras that I've had to live by every day, but it's helpful to have them written down and they're on magnets so you can put them on your refrigerator to always remember to have that good attitude or to have that attitude of empathy and how you're going to promote that attitude of cooperation. So I have magnets that exemplify every one of the mantras that I've talked about. If anybody wants to scan that QR code, this brings you to a page where I do have a gift for you. And these are a lot of those tips, those mantras, but they're in a format that you can download and put on your phone as a screensaver. So if you scan that, I see someone doing it, thank you. Scan that QR code and he's going to tell us if it works. Then it should take you to a page where you have tips. And these are some of the choices for downloadable images that you can, again, put on your phone. And these are the mantras that I live by every day. And these are the mantras that would help you deal with your day. Because I know that it's not easy to stick a tube down someone's nose, but especially when they're like struggling or crying or complaining. So these are things that would help you go from patient to patient and maintain that attitude of empathy. Then I have another set. These are more closely related to just specifically the medical field. So make sure that you always have that attitude of empathy. You're always helpful and not judgmental. I don't care what they do, it's not for you to judge them. So things like that. Remember about the scared kid inside each patient. That's an important one. I also do offer a newsletter that I send out about once a month that has tips to promote empathy. And if you'd like to sign up for my newsletter, there's actually a form on the side where you can sign up, or you can text the word Strive to Thrive, all one word, to that number, and you'll get a response that asks you to put your email in, and I will send you a newsletter once a month. And that's it. Do you guys have any? I guess I will. Oh, in front of you, you have two things. You have a what's called a speaker one sheet, so that kind of tells you all about my speaker services. You also have a feedback form, and I would love for you guys to fill out that feedback form and write something. Well, obviously I want you to write something nice on it. But if you don't have anything nice to say, you can give me some critical feedback. I welcome. No one ever means that, but yeah, I welcome critical feedback.